How do you know if the gut's working right? Let me give you a story of a man that came to our health retreat with his wife. He was 68, his wife was 67. I said, what is your reason for coming to our retreat? He said, I'm here to accompany my wife. I said, right. I said, how many bowel movements do you average a day? Because I did a health assessment on him. He said 6. I said, oh, that's a lot. He said, yes, I've got irritable bowel. I said, oh, are you on medication? Yes. And he listed the anti-inflammatories and the cortisones. He said, yes, recently the doctor said I can do no more for you. I said, oh. And then I looked at what he ate. He loved bread, he loved meat, he loved dairy, and he loved sugar, and he loved a couple of scotches every night. You see, when you're healing an irritated gut, this is what you've got to do. Number 1, stop all the irritants. What are the irritants? Wheat, dairy, in fact, all the things he was having. Refined sugar, alcohol. All of these foods are like kerosene to a fire to an irritated gut. And he was having lots of them. Number 2, probiotic. Probiotic is for life. And that cortisone that he was on, it can break down that gut flora. The very thing he was taking to supposedly heal him, it wasn't at all. All it does is stop the gut being inflamed. And on all that medication, he's going 6 times a day. And number 3, there is a herb called slippery elm. And slippery elm coats, soothes and heals the lining of the gut. Psalm 104 verse 14, the Bible says, God gave herbs for the service of man. Slippery elm is a remarkable herb. It not only gives form to the stool, it coats, soothes and lines the gut, and it contains a growth stimulant, so it can stimulate rapid healing in the lining of the gut. I said, can I try some things on you? He said, certainly. Now, we don't serve any wheat or dairy or refined sugar or alcohol at our health retreat. You've probably noticed. I gave him slippery elm 4 times a day, morning, noon, 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. at night. And I gave him a double dose of probiotic. You see, he told me he walks by the beach every morning, and where he walks, there are 4 restrooms on his walk. He's got to, because he's got to keep going in. So in his 1-hour walk every morning, he's got to do 4 stops. First 2 days of the program, he's on juices, so I'm watching him closely. I said, how many times are you going? He said, 5, that's 1 less, on juices. You see, the slippery elm gives form, it coats and soothes. The second day, he was very happy. He said, I only had to stop 3 times on my morning walk this morning. And he's going 4 times. He's dropping 1 movement a day. Fantastic. And it's becoming formed. Wednesday, eating food was much better. I said to him, I believe you can stop your anti-inflammatories and halve your cortisone. He was not interested in doing that on day 1, but because of the results he was getting, he became interested. By Friday, he's going 3 times a day. That's exciting, and formed. The bleeding from the bowel had stopped. The cramping had stopped. This is on medication, all that was happening. On Sunday morning, he came running up to me very excited. He said, I just went on my morning walk and didn't go. This man's been dealing with this for 30 years. How long was he at our health retreat? 1 week. He's not healed, but he's getting a long way toward